破壊
Welcome to another video on Dragon Ball Legends. Today, guys, we're going to be discussing the Ultra Space Time Summon number 15. I like the units on here, and I think, obviously we're going to be getting the 2 new guaranteed tickets, but I think this might be the first Ultra Space Time Summon that we might actually have to spend some crystals, because this Goku on this banner is absolutely next level straight fire, but we'll get into him a little bit later. This is going to be a review of all the 4 new characters that have come in. And something that I found out as well that I'll show you guys a little bit at the end of the video that I thought was quite interesting. Firstly, we're going to look at Zamasu. He's a green extreme 3-star at level 3000. Stats fairly alright. Nothing to write home about. Pretty average for the later of the extremes. Blast attack, obviously we can see he's quite high, but the rest are fairly average. I wouldn't be too bothered about trying to get this unit. But let's just read what he has. He's all in all pretty average. He's got his main ability, 50% blast damage inflicted for 25 timer counts, cancels own attribute downgrades, requirements 15 timer counts. This is alright, but it's very, very situational. You probably have to know that you're going to have 4 or 3 minimum blast cards in your hand, and that you're going to get them off straight away. And because it is 25 timer counts only, and you only have one chance really, because if you vanish, you don't want to leave him out there. Like I said, his defense isn't too great. His blast, his defense, and his strike defense isn't like wow. And you don't want to leave a unit out there just to get absolutely melted after the vanish is gone. So if you know you're going to get your blast off, then it's very good. But all in all, it's pretty average main ability. You're expecting like a main ability to be quite, a bit more OP than that, especially with the units that are out now. Twisted Justice, 30% to own Vanishing Gauge, recovery for 10 timer counts when this character enters the battlefield. Restores own ki by 30 when this character evades enemy attack with a Vanish Step. Again, I get what they're trying to do, get ki back, which is nice on a Vanishing Step. But also, once you vanish, you're going to need to get your gauge back, and the 30% will help, but it won't help that much. 30% isn't a great much of an increase. Your opponent, unless they're completely just not worried about attacking you at all, will definitely hit you within the times before your Vanishing Gauge recovers. So it is an amazing passive ability that you're expecting. Maybe if it was on 50 or 60%, that would have been a lot better. But I think 30% is a bit on the low side. The key, like I said, key restoration is very important, but it's not game changing. Inflex enemy with a tribute downgrade 10% to damage received for 10 timer counts upon landing a blast hit. This is good as well, because with this coupled with his 50% blast damage inflicted, it can actually work out pretty well. So if you do have like 3 key blasts stacked, and you can pump out 3 of those at 50% blast damage when you pop your main ability, and then another 10% damage, you actually get to do 60% blast damage, which is quite a lot of blast damage. But then again, we also look at his blast attack, and his blast attack is 160, so that is fairly high, but it isn't like groundbreaking. It's only like the 125s, which are like the most stronger units are. But it is an extreme, and I suppose with these equipments you can get better. But all in all, it's not that fantastic. But if you play it right, you can do quite a bit of damage. He carries 2 blast cards, I can see as well. So he's definitely a very blast utilized unit. Deals major slice damage, 20% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts upon activation. 40% chance to inflict paralysis on hit. I can see it over here that it is a charge move, which is has advantages, but it's just has disadvantages, as it can be nullified by a ki blast. But it has a 40% chance of paralysis on hit. This is very good. Paralysis for me is one of the most annoying things in the game, especially it is so RNG that paralysis can just occur like 4 or 5 times out of nowhere. It can also like not occur at all for a while, which is a bit weird for me. But paralysis is very, very annoying. You don't need to do it. Whenever I get hit by paralysis, I just switch a guy out, because it's cancerous. 20% damage inflicted as well, very nice. It doesn't say blast damage or strike damage, it says damage inflicted, which is very, very nice. Then his green card, unlock key, rapid blast form, 50% to blast damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, -5 to own blast cards, 10 timer accounts, 30% to own. So this, if you pop this card, then you pop his main, and then obviously with his passive, giving him 10% attribute damage received, you can actually get four cards off because it's -4 blast arts. And if you have 15 blast damage inflicted, plus the 50%, plus the 10%, you use 75% damage, which is quite crazy. That you can start doing quite a bit amount of damage with this unit. So that's not too bad. And also, obviously, anything that can reduce blast arts, I do like that. And then, obviously, his key recovery. So you can maybe even chain them. And then if you do get lucky enough to draw another blast art, you can maybe pop off 5 blast arts cards in a row because his key recovery does go up by 30%. We're looking at his Z ability. So obviously, the major thing that you want to get this unit for is for his Z ability. You can see that his God Key, Strike, and Blast Attack on 30% at 5-star. That is next level. Or at 87-star, which is very, very good. This would pretty much be a settlement on any God Key team. If you have this guy at 7-star or 5-star, put him on a God Key team. Strike and Blast Attack goes up. And God Key does need bench. He is green, so he's probably competing with Beerus at the moment. So it is a toss of the coin because Beerus as well is quite limited in his style of play. And I do prefer these buffs for the God Key team than on Beerus's. Have a look at his equipment. Obviously, you got nice stellar equipment out for him now. You can get him all 3 of these equipments can be specially made for him, but you're more than likely going to run the Dawn androids for the double buffs. So his equipment is also very good, makes him quite a useful unit, and he's got the tags of regen, so you can run on pretty much regen, or you got regen, future, God Key. So this is a very, very diverse unit. Obviously, more so would be on God Key since he buffs God Key, but you can use him on others. All in all, review, decent unit. Not nothing to write home about, not absolutely fantastic or groundbreaking, but we should see how he plays on in the game. Like I said, you've got to be very strategic on how you use him. The next character we're going to be looking at is Nail. For me, I read this guy's stats prior, and I really, really do enjoy it. I think this is an awesome character to add in the game. I really enjoyed Nail in Dragon Ball, the Frieza Saga Z. I thought he was a nice spice up. Obviously, he's not like the Piccolo, but he's definitely something to talk about. He's an extreme unit, color purple, and I think the regen definitely needed the purple. Janemba's not that great, and with all the canceling debuffs, the new Boo isn't the Super Boo purple isn't that great either. We're looking at his stats: 3,000 at 3-star, blast attack quite decent actually, very, very decent. 1.2 million health, normally standard. Strike defense and blast defense, pretty solid on the 80Ks. Quite good. Strike attack is quite low, but obviously this unit can't be perfectly well rounded, you know. So he's obviously favoring the blast attack. So all in all, not too bad. Car restore speed very, very decent as well. Critical and a bit on the low side, but I think he's more offering of a car restore speed that regen really needs. Battle of Life and Death. Draw a special move arts card next. So that means his next card will be a special move. Restore own key by 50. So that means you're going to guarantee to be able to get it off if you do chain in the combo and you want to pop your main to hit you into a special move, which is very nice. Reduces damage received by 20% for 60 seconds or timer counts. That is great. 20% for 60 timer. I would actually prefer 20% for 60 timer counts than say 30% or 40% for 30 timer counts. I think 60 timer counts is pretty much a duration of a fight, and it's quite long standing, so I do like that. 50% to a special move, damage inflicted for 30 timer counts as well. So if you once you pop his main, you can get your special off, and it's 50% increase to your special move, and also it's another 30 timer count. So if you hit it, get another one, then you can actually just start popping off the popping off his special move. His special move is Mystic Flash. You can teach it. It's good. Deals major impact damage, 50% of damage inflicted for 15. So you can actually just keep if you pop these off, you can increase damage inflicted, and obviously with the increased damage on the 50% special move damage, you can actually start getting some serious damage off there. Then we look at his unique abilities. Warrior type Namekian. The following effects occur when this character enters a battlefield. 35% of blast damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Very good. Nullifies only abnormal conditions for 15 time accounts. Very good. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade 20 cents of special move. Arts cost. So that, for me, love that. It's different. Very, very nice as well. Something that is needed in the meta because, especially with the new LF Goku, just popping off those special moves like it's no one else's business. Plus 20 for that will make it very, very difficult to chain. The following, obviously, 35% of blast damage, great for 15 time accounts, so you can really like bring him in and start popping off key blasts. Nullifies abnormal conditions as well for 15 time cards. That's also great with all the paralysis or feints or bleeds that are running around. Even or any abnormal conditions, that's great. Warrior type Namekian is, I think, for me, a very, very good unique ability. Namekian Hope. 10% of damage inflicted for 15 time accounts upon landing a strike or blast. 10% of damage inflicted for 15 time accounts when using a strike or blast card while this character is on the battlefield. So pretty much like the Brody that came out, the Fury Brody, it does 10% damage inflicted for every attack that you hit. And there's chains for upon landing a strike. I'm sure this would chain because obviously it says for landing a strike or blast, so it can continue to go up. 10% damage inflicted 15 time accounts. Then 20% to damage inflicted by allies. So it gives 20% damage inflicted to allies, and then a further 15% to damage inflicted by ally tag regeneration when this character is defeated. So all in all, if you would get this guy on your regeneration team, if he dies, he will boost your regeneration team. And I think him coupled with Kamikalo can give Buhan so many boosts, make Buhan an absolute beast that he really is, and he can really shine. I think with Purple not being so dominant in the meta now with all the new yellow units, green units can really shine. And I think Buhan came in a very bad spot. And we're going to start seeing more of him in the meta. And I think coupled with this, making him even more OP, it's going to be a very, very nice time for him to show what he's made of. So special move, Mystic Flash, we covered that. Regenerating energy, restores own health by 10%, 50% of damage inflicted for 20 time account. Gradually restores ally health for 20 counts. So this for me is so good. Gradually restores ally so it could have just stopped there. Literally, it could have stopped at restores own health by 10%, 50% damage inflicted, but then it goes on and says gradually restores ally health for 20 time accounts. This is pretty much like what Sal's ability is. So if you couple this with Sal, he's gonna be getting this, and he's gonna get his normal one. So you can actually get, say, a 50% health Sal back to 100% in 20 time accounts. If you play it smart and your opponent's like really passive and doesn't want to come at you, you can actually get a lot of health back. So I think that's very, very, very nice. Hopefully, as it says gradually, hopefully it is around maybe like 1% or 2% of health. That like what Sal's is that normally when you max him out around 6.8k per time account. So that's quite decent. Then we look at his Z abilities, regeneration tag, strike and blast attack as well. Very, very strong, very useful. Regeneration needs a very OP bench. And he also buffs Frieza Saga Z. So you can start creating a nice team with Final Form Frieza and Goku if you want. But for me, obviously with the unique passive that he has with as well when he's defeated, giving regeneration extra strength, I think the best team for him to run on as well as regeneration needs a purple unit because Janemba is a bit underrated. Like I said, he's ever since that nerf with the Vanishing Gauge recovery came, Super Janemba is quite average. And Super Boo as well, a lot of debuff units out there, so he's not that great. So blast, strike and blast attack, very, very good. Equipment as well. We've got these two new equipments that we got from the Kamikalo event, very, very strong equipments, and also the Piccolo equipment, or obviously we're going to use the new Extreme. Now it's your turn for him. So he's got very nice viable equipments out there that can make him to a very, very solid unit. I really personally like this unit. I think it's one of the units that I want to pull on this banner. Okay, next we're looking into the Fused Android 13. Possibly one of the main reasons many guys would summon on this is that Android have finally got what they've been lacking. An melee type red unit that is absolutely within the meta, not like Cell, who is definitely not. The first perfect form Cell that came out. What will be funny is in the next balance updates, if they do actually update the new Cell, whilst everyone trying to get this guy, I will have a chuckle. But I highly much doubt that, as he does have boosts at Z ability, so he will be used. And there's other units like the old style Future Trunks or Goku that needs to be buffed. But let's look at his stats. 3-star at 3,000. Defenses 81 and 83. So that's the first thing we need to look at. His defenses are solid. Very good defensive unit. Health 1.21 million, fairly average, fairly good on the high side of that on the average tier. Strike attack 122 and blast attack 116. So this unit is fairly much balanced everywhere, but he's more leaning towards the defensive side. As his defensive stats, especially strike defense, is very high. Got a nice critical, nice Kai restore speed. I think Android's Kai restore speed, they needed something with Kai restore speed. It's very crucial. And also, if you continue to read his main ability, which we'll get into now, Goku, draw the ultimate arts card, Deadly Crusher. Next, restores own health by 30%, great, and ki by 30%. So by 30 total amount, and that for me is great because the androids needed someone who can restore ki. That's great for them. Restores health by 30% as well. So pretty much, these 1.2 million. You're looking at 360,000 plus minus health coming back, which is decent. Unique ability, 30% to damage inflicted against Super Saiyan. The following effects occur according to the number of timer counts elapsed. So first of all, 30% damage to Super Saiyan, we can notice that. That's going to be amazing because a lot of Super Saiyans are running around. So this guy corners any yellow Super Saiyan, like the yellow Super Saiyan Goku. It's going to be an absolute field day for him. But any Super Saiyan in general is going to get hit hard by this character because the 30% is quite a lot. The following effects occur according to the number of timer counts elapsed with the current character. 3 timer counts, 35% damage. I think 5 timer counts, 35% to Kai recovery. 10 timer counts, 25% damage inflicted. Whilst his character is on the battlefield, inflicts all units with 2 substitution counts when his enemy switches character. So I like. Okay, so we just tally up. You can get 35 plus 25, so that's 40. That's 60. If he's hitting a Super Saiyan unit and he's been on the field for 10 timer counts, he's going to be hitting 60 plus 30. That's 90% damage increase. That is rough. That is going to do some serious damage to Super Saiyans out there. I'm sure Super Saiyans can handle themselves, but it is definitely it's nice to have another viable option against a Super Saiyan meta that seems to always be in the game. I like this. Inflicts all enemies with 2% substitution count when enemy switches characters. That's great, obviously, because the Son family, their main thing is their substitution count always is to synergize so while they get a down, down, down. This will help nullify that. And obviously, they're all Super Saiyans, or majority of them are Super Saiyans. So this unit is pretty much going to be doing well against the Son family team setup. Android's final weapon inflicts enemy with attribute downgrades, -1 to arts draw card speed level, 15 timer counts on changing cover. Knocks enemy back to long range if the cover is changed to perform against a strike art. So this is pretty much like Vegito. Super Saiyan Vegito came in. If you land a comboing or chaining a strike attack, then you can bring this guy in and you can knock them back to long range. Long range means that you can't retaliate. You can't hit them with a counter attack. They will be able to vanish out of the way unless they have no vanish, which then they'll have to switch a unit in. Applies the following effects to self when 2 allied tag android are defeated. 50% to damage inflicted and 30% to Kai recovery. And restores health by 30%. So if you have an android team, which fairly all of us do, they have great double buffs, so everyone pretty much has an android team. If you leave this unit as your last unit, finally the androids have an anchor unit because you will get 50% damage inflicted. So it becomes quite doing a lot of damage. Obviously, chain with the 30% and you'll be staying in the arena for another 10 timer counts. So you'll be getting another 60% here, 30% as 90 plus 50. So you're looking at 140% damage inflicted. If you save his main ability, pop it, get ki back, and you restore his health 30%, and he gets another further 30%. You got basically a new unit who can anchor very well. He's going to do some serious damage. So he's got a viable options. As a defensive unit, obviously you're disappointed not to have a cover change. But I think because his stats are so well overall and he's got a lot of damage inflicted, I think they chose not to add it to him because he would probably be a bit broken. His comparison to that androids have such a good bench, such good Z ability support, and they have a good team now with obviously the buff 17, Sal, and obviously Trucker Hat, number 13, Beast, 14 as well. So they've got a lot of options. So I think this is he's a great unit. He's not absolutely meta changing and broken, but what he does bring to the team is an anchor unit for the androids, and that's something I think is very important. A special move is fully charged Deadly Bomber, deals major impact damage, inflicts enemy with turbo downgrade, 20% strike damage. Alright, so this pretty much buffs him. Strike damage to receive for 15 times, he's a strike unit. So this is, it's alright, not too bad, it's always useful. 20% damage, swing throw, 20% damage inflicted for 15 timer counter upon activation, inflicts enemy with a tribute, downgrade 50% to key recovery. This is great. For me, if I get hit with this, I'm going to have to be forced to switch out because 50% key recovery is massive and I don't want to spend 3 or 4 timer counts just there trying to power up my key. 50% is a large amount. No, it's the only thing that was worse than I can think of is key is Krillin's main ability that puts us onto 100%, and that's just cancerous. It does have blast armor as well when charging forward, so to charge green card you can't just activate it. So you got to obviously time it correctly, but with the blast armor it does come in handy. Just be careful because I know that the Gogeta Super Saiyan does have that blast armor extra damage, and for him being a red unit plus obviously 100% extra damage, you can get done in hard if you do this move and he blasts you, does blast damage. You could lose probably about 50% of your health, so just be very careful on that. Deadly Crusher deals massive impact damage. The following effects occur when this upon activation: 30% to ultimate damage inflicted for 3 timer counts, gain attribute upgrade, 50% to enemies sustained damage cut, effects for 3 timer counts, and 30% chance to inflict faint on hit. So all in all, I love the fact that it gets 30% to an ultimate. I love the fact that it's 50% minus with sustained damage cut. So anyone who tries to be smart and bring in a unit, they'll lose 50% of that damage cut. And 30% chance to hit faint. I like that it's 30 and not like 15 or 20. Or and I don't like it, and I like that it's 30 and not like 50 or 70 because that Gotenks feint for me is absolutely broken. It's irritating. I hate playing against Gotenks Super Saiyan 3 just because of that feint. And for me, feint is kind of like I know why it's in the game, but for me, it's also like it's way too OP. I think they should halve the time that an opponent stays feint for because you can literally power up, get a full key, and go for a combo gain, and it's entirely RNG. So that's just my personal opinion. Feint is nice to have here. So to have the unit is great. But also for me, playing against it, I don't like playing against feint, and I don't think anyone really does like playing against feint because it can just really switch a tide. Someone can chain it into a rise and rush, and then pretty much your unit's done already. Then we can go to our tags. Android Strike and Blast Attack, 5-star Android Strike and Blast Attack, 29%. 31% strike and blast attack. So pretty much Android team buffs Android's always a double buffer. Very good bench. Very good team. Finally around that side. And you can see all these units now. Pretty much I think all of them are like double buffs before the ones like 18 who don't buff androids. Or like both 18s actually don't buff androids besides the purple ones. So they actually, the Sparking 18 don't spark androids. Pretty much stay on a female vibe there and a blue vibe, color team. But anyway, getting off topic. Tag based equipment fairly decent. Obviously there's a lot more of a movie saga and red vibe and a fusion vibe going here, so you can see that they can get a fusion tag, movie tag, and a color tag, and then your standard android tags. Cool. So for me, overall, decent unit, solid unit. Not like wow meta changing, but solid unit indeed. And finally, Goku. Another Goku, ladies and gentlemen. A Son family joining Goku. Green, gonna be absolutely wrecking the meta. Hasn't been one Ultra Space Time summon banner that I would say spend CC on, but because this guy is absolutely so amazing and like a mountain in defense, I'd say if you don't get him, try get him. If you don't get him with your 2 tickets, try and get him. I wouldn't go balls deep. I wouldn't go all in, but I would try and get this guy. This unit is absolutely great. He has one small downside, which we'll talk about, but all in all, this unit absolutely fantastic. Defense stats, as you can see, 83 and 83. Like, wow. Great defense. Blast attacks fairly high as well, 120. Strike attack, so it's pretty much an all-round strong unit, and his health off the charts as well. Great unit. This is for 3-star, level 3000. He is a defensive type, so you want to bring him in obviously as a defensive unit, but you can add green to the Son family, which is what they're also missing. If you didn't obviously pull the transforming Gohan, future Gohan, or if you don't have a 5-star ultimate Gohan, this literally can be an answer to your prayers for Son family users. He has such a great stats overall, like in an overall percentage. Kira speed's a bit lackluster, critical decent, but Kira speed not bad for a defensive unit, I would say. Draw the ultimate arts card, Spirit Bomb Absorption, restores unhealth by 35%. As we saw earlier on, he's got like a 1.26 million health, so restoring it by 35% is quite a whack. I mean, you're looking at easily 450k, just under 500k of health. That is ridiculous. Unique ability, Miraculous Strike. I'd actually really want to see this animation. I can't wait. Spirit Bomb Absorption. Miraculous Strike, 50% to blast damage inflicted against tag android. So this guy is just going to be solely like just absolutely tearing the android meta apart. So if you have this guy, you can be rest assured that you're not going to be afraid of any androids running around. The following effects occur according to the number of timer counts elapsed from battle start. 50 timer counts reduces damage by 20%, for 30 timer counts, which is great. 50% of ultimate damage, and 45% counts elapsed, and 50% of damage inflicted. So 45 timer counts, this guy's doing 30% extra damage. Like, what? And then on an android, you're already looking at 100% damage of the 45 timer counts. That's ridiculous. For his attack to me not be so bad, and then 100% already, just on one unique passive, wow. Unrelenting Fighting Spirit reduce damage received by 50% until combat ends. So he has cover change, obviously the standard +2 on his substitution count when activated, and a 35% to damage inflicted per defeated battle member. Once again, another great anchor unit. If your two guys are dead, you can pop this guy's specialty, get your health back, 50% to damage, and obviously his 55 timer count is now elapsed because he's the last unit. You're going to be doing some crazy damage. It's already 135% damage increase there. That's next level. Energy Meteor deals major impact damage, 50% chance to cancel enemies. So pretty much like Gon's ultimate, future Gon is ultimate. He cancels enemy upgrades, tribute upgrades. This Goku pretty much does it 50% of the time on every special move. That is insane. So you pretty much have a 1 out of 2 chances of cancelling all of your opponent's upgrades by hitting with a special move. And you can get special moves quite easy on the game if you pick the right units, or you have a team build that can draw special units like Gogeta or the new LF Goku. And he'll be on, this guy can fit on those teams. So that is very, very, very powerful. Your opponent just maybe has an anchor unit, say like the Legendary Finish Gohan or has Vegeta fully powered up, and you hit him with one of these and you get it off. They lose all their tribute upgrades. That's a major win for you. Defensive stance. Now this is also for me such a great key card. Green quirk skill. 50% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts upon activation. Nullifies enemies' tap attack, tap shot, strike attacks, or blast arts while finding post. So anything besides a rising rush or special move, this green card counters. So you have to use it as a counter. But the main thing is that it restores your own vanishing gauge by 100%. So you pretty much get your vanish back. That is crazy for me with a 50% damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. Like, thanks for playing, thanks for the vanishing gauge. And you lose your key for wasting your blast arts or strike arts on me. Cheers, mate. That is, for me, a great, great move. Spirit Bomb Absorption is the one I was talking about, what I really want to see. Deals massive impact damage, 50% to damage inflicted for 3 timer counts upon activation. Blast armor when charging forward. So, all I want to say is, with this 50% ultimate damage inflicted, if it is the last unit, you'll get a further 35% per defeater, so that's 70. So you're looking at 120. Then you're looking at 50% blast damage against an android. If you're hitting an android as the last guy, it's 180. And after 45 timer counts, plus another 50%. So you're looking at a 230% increase on your damage. If you hit this as a last unit, as obviously your last unit with 45 timer counts elapsed, pop to your main, and now you want to hit this guy with your ultimate ability. That unit is dead. Like 100% dead. There's no ways. I think the only one maybe is Legendary Finish Gohan, who has a better ultimate, but this is broken. This is next level. And as blast armor like Gohan's, that is fantastic for the unit. Obviously, this will really buff NG sagas for the team. Or Son family, like Son family really needed a buff, really, and obviously, and we need another Goku in the game. But this is meta changing. This guy is great. All I'm gonna say is, blue units, be wary. This Oak is an absolute tank. He will tank any blue unit. Yes, and he will do some serious damage to androids. So all in all, great unit. Obviously, carries a strike and a Kai Blast card. Now, we said earlier, downside. Also, just please note that it's a dashing forward special, ultimate special. So you have to chain it as an ultimate special as dashing forward to obviously activate it, as most of them are. Just what his downside is, his Z abilities. Blast defense, first of all. Like, there's not even to talk about the tags. Blast defense, meh. Only 1. If it was blast and strike defense, great. But only 1. 33% at 5-star for sagas for the movies, or element green. So for green, great. Green units, but you don't want to have a team that's mono green or mono any color really, unless you want to have just a little bit of fun and troll a bit. In saga for the movies, not an amazing team. There's a lot of better viable teams out there. I would definitely throw this Goku on a Son family. Always throwing it on the Son family. With the additions of the Son family will buff him. And he has such a good kit, great stats. I personally would go with Son family. I don't like the movies from Saga team. I think a lot of the units are a bit underpowered. The bench isn't that great. So his only downside, which I don't really find it to be of a downside, because if this was like Son family or Saiyan or something, or some of those sorts, he'd be absolutely broken. Like, there's no doubt. I'm actually even glad that they said green and sagas for the movie. They could have just done this man wrong and gone green alone. They added sagas for the movies to make it a little bit better for us. But all in all, like, this is important. Like, it was needed. It was needed in a story. It was needed. Obviously, you can see equipment as well. You can get the special awakened equipment and the Saiyan equipment, the specialty equipment, and his ultimate damage to increase it. If you have, it's all up into my fist, and that second equipment slot, close to Z tier or just as a golden stone. You're going to be doing ultimate damage up as well. That's great. So all in all, this unit is absolutely ridiculous, broken. If you're going to summon on this banner, try and get this dude. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. The summon banner is going to look like this. It will be dropping, I think it will be dropping in 2 days' time. If I know it's upcoming, it will be dropping in 2 days' time, I do believe. Let's just have a look. Obviously, this Goku stance is pretty much the same as the transforming one. I don't know why they did it like that, but anyway, it is what it is. Now, so you can see there's a start date, the first, so in 2 days' time. Now, something that I really wanted to show you, which I found out that is crazy, if we can go to extreme units. So obviously the 5 units here are a 1% drop rate. So you pretty much don't want to get these two. Turles, they boosted Turles, but normally everyone has him on 5-star. But if those didn't start early, Turles could be a nice unit for you to get. Gogeta and Super Janemba, everyone should have them by now, at least 5-star as well. I mean, they were fairly easy units to pull. Somehow they're on every banner and just hiding around there. With Janemba, it's just everywhere. That is just a troll. Metakura, not bad to try and get. But obviously the 2 units you want to get is Goku and Fused Android 13, but more prioritize Goku. Obviously your extremes. Now what I want to show you here, look at these extremes. What? Jace, Captain Ginyu, Raccoon, Berta, Goldo. So obviously we can see here that the game's not going to be bringing these Ginyu units back. They're going to try and get us to summon them. So that is amazing to know, because they got a solid team. This Ginyu Force team is solid. And if you get them to 5 stars each, you can really, like, they're a meta competing team. Like, that's next level. Like, they can really do some serious damage. So this is very interesting for me to see that you can get the Ginyu Force now in banners. So that means they're not going to be bringing them back. Sorry for those who've missed out. And also it adds a lot more diversity to extremes, because I obviously you can see some here, because I normally pull the same extremes all the time, as you can see. And obviously Hero Nail has now been added to the game. But normally getting all the same extremes, and I've got them most onto 7-star, so it's getting frustrating trying to get this, you're getting the same units. And so this is the banner, and we'll be looking at hopefully getting Zamasu and hopefully getting the new nail. You get all the captain. You can get to the Ginyu Force and Bojack as well. I don't see Zanga anywhere, which is fair. Which is fair. Otherwise, they obviously make this banner for Ultra Space Time Summon very, very OP. We know Bandai doesn't like doing that. But anyway, that is the banner. Those are the units. And hope you enjoyed this video. And peace.